Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to yet another post show. I am Raz. That is Stephen. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing all right, Raz. Getting prepared for this winter storm tomorrow night. Putting down the
I
hatches.
am. I am sorry that you have to deal with a winter storm. You've got you dealing with winter storm. You've got bloody California dealing with wildfires and destroying $1 million homes and stuff like that. And we've got in our chat, we've got Anastasia C. Henry, good old protector of the Twitch, Alex, and Courtney Holland.
Hey, Courtney.
Thank you for all joining us. It's great to have you all here. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's get straight into this show and let's talk about a few things because I've got some fucking gripes to get off my chest today.
Uh-oh. All right.
Okay. Before I go into the gripes that I have, let's look at this card. Let's look at this card that we have in front of us for today. We have Will Ospreay versus Buddy Matthews. Mm-hmm. We have Bobby Lashley versus Mark Briscoe. We have the Casino Gauntlet match. We have Tony Storm versus Statlander versus Willow. And we have Kenny's return. You're going to want to hear this, ABJ, so stick around. You're going to want to hear this. So, on paper, and in the eyes of anybody who is fucking intelligent, this is a good show. This is a fucking fantastic show. This is a barn burner and a show that should be like a top-rated show of the week.
Yeah.
Like you should have a good show. Mm. What, in my eyes, the fuck did I watch with that crowd?
That crowd was terrible, my opinion.
That crowd that was in attendance was fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
And AEW either needs to do something about their audio or especially in the smaller arenas, they need to do something about their audio because all I could hear was one or two people at the loudest volume who would have been right near the sound booth setup.
Yeah.
And it was fucking annoying. Like the crowd felt flat as fuck, even in the moments where you should have enthusiasm and like excitement. It just felt flat as fuck. Like Ospreay coming out for his match, he gets a quick ovation and then it just goes quiet.
Yep. It sounds like a golf tennis event.
The crowd was wrong.
Yeah.
The crowd for this show was wrong.
The crowd probably not in the crowd was not even in the matches either.
And Clarksville, you should be feeling fucking ashamed for yourselves. Clarksville should feel ashamed for themselves for the fact of that. You better show out when they come to Australia. Oh, hell fucking yes, Courtney. Trust me. Australia will be loud. If you thought All In was loud, Australia will be loud. You will know that Australians are there. So
take notes, Clarksville.
Yeah. Take notes, America.
Yeah.
This is the thing. International shows are pulling louder crowds than any American show.
Yeah.
Across the board, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, GCW, whatever.
You guys don't usually have shows coming near you also. That's another thing too.
But that's the thing. Shouldn't you guys be wanting to outshine us if we're putting on fucking fantastic crowd and fantastic noises? I didn't watch the pay-per-view, but Backlash in France. Was it Backlash?
Yeah.
Yep, Backlash in France. And I've seen the video of the camera shaking for AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, amazing. The environment is just not. It doesn't feel like it's there in American shows anymore.
The Puerto Rico crowd was pretty good too.
Puerto Rico was fucking insane. Like, clearly the biggest pop of all time went to Old Mate, the Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know this is an AEW based show, but that crowd tonight was flat.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is that crowd was flat. Crowd was horrible. The workers were fucking great. They did an amazing job. I think that we got a lot of things here that if any other crowd had that, there would have been pops galore, and there would have been oh shit moments. Like, I'm not even going to go in order here, but the Casino Gauntlet. The Casino Gauntlet had so many things that you could have that were in shocking ways. You had Jay White and Hangman as the first two. Then you had Wheeler Yuta, and it should have been a chorus of boos outside of the to get him out. And then you had Ricochet, who used Swerve's theme, but it should have been a massive continued chorus of boos.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Ricochet, that none of the major names won that match. Like, none of the major names in that match won it. And it was won by Powerhouse Hobbs, who will go on to face Moxley next week. It should have been like an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it should have been. But it fell so fucking flat because of the crowd. Because the crowd just didn't seem to feel it and didn't seem to care.
Yeah.
Like,
they act like they don't want to be there sometimes, the crowd.
Yeah. Courtney says if she ever goes to a WWE show, that we'll hear her. Sorry, an AEW. Yeah, I agree. DM's home.
What's your language, DM?
No disrespect to Steven, but some of the southern states don't seem to be into AEW so much crowd-wise.
Hey, South Haven crowd was pretty good.
The South Haven crowd was good, yes.
That's where I was at, so
I can kind of see where he's saying that.
Yeah,
I can kind of see that. Death Riders and Mox are overrated. That may be the case, Courtney, but guess what? They should still be getting a reaction.
Yeah.
And the crowd tonight just felt flat. Back from vacation. That's awesome, DM. You had Private Party out there to have their tag team title celebration. And the Hurt Syndicate come out to interrupt them and say they're going to tag titles. But once again, where's the crowd?
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right.
But the match was great, though.
Yeah. Copeland, Adam Copeland spilling his guts out in the middle of the fucking ring, being like full on aggressive and being insane, was not insane, but you know what I mean. Like, he had the intensity, and still the crowd didn't seal it. AEW seems to be stronger on the East Coast. It looks to be. I call him Edge. Yes, Edge.
I can't cope calling him Cope.
Yeah. You can't cope on Cope?
I can't cope calling him Cope.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but you've got one of your hometown guys who's once again pouring his heart out in Jeff Jarrett.
Mm-hmm. No response.
But the crowd is flat.
Yep.
even when MJF comes out, the crowd is flat.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, I don't know what to do. I don't like. This show was fantastic. This episode was fantastic when you run it down and run it back and you look at the card and look exactly what they were doing. It should have been fantastic. It should have been a top tier show. But that crowd killed it. The crowd destroyed it.
Yep.
Like I was taken out of it. I felt like I was trying to enjoy it, but then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Jeff will pour his heart out on the YouTube segment, not on TV. Strangely enough, in 2025, when Jeff Jarrett's on TV, there's good things coming out of it, which is weird.
Where did you watch Dynamite at, on Max? Or
I watched it on Triller.
Well, here in America, Max doesn't do picture-in-picture.
Okay.
And TBS does, so I've been switching to TBS, watching it.
Yeah. JJ deserves a reaction, and MJF as well. Yep. Only one person knows how to ruin a good show. Courtney watched it on TBS.
Same here.
But like, not only that, you had Excalibur, Matt Menard, and Ian Riccaboni on commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had a great commentary team.
Mm-hmm.
You had a commentary team that has a wealth of experience, and they were putting over the action. Ian Riccaboni was great on this show.
Yeah. He's always been good on commentary.
But the crowd ruined it all.
Yeah.
Like if I'm Tony Khan, I'm sitting there going, I'm sitting there, I'm getting my phone and I'm going, yeah, mayor of fucking Clarksville, we're never coming back here. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, because that was fucking shit.
Yeah.
Will do there, DM. Will do. Oh, that's who the guy in the red jacket was. I think he was wearing red. I don't
Matt Menard, Daddy Magic.
Matt Menard, yeah. Daddy Magic was wearing red. Ian Riccaboni was the guy with glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Riccaboni is great. He is a former Ring of Honor and still Ring of Honor commentator, but he is great, and he is absolutely. Should we run it down as piece by piece in regards to the show?
Go for
it. Opening match: Buddy Matthews versus Will Ospreay. Thoughts, feelings, opinions?
Good match. I liked after the match what Will told Buddy, and hopefully we may see Ospreay versus Malachi Black in the match.
I think we're building to that. I think we are building to Ospreay versus Malachi, with the teaser of Buddy Matthews being on the outs sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're building to something like that. Ospreay wins this match with a hidden blade. Fantastic. I think we're going to see a good story build from this, and I think they need to build it properly.
Yeah.
We got a Wrestle Dynasty video package, which, if you haven't seen Wrestle Dynasty, get your ass over and watch Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd.
Yes.
Because that is already match of the year contender.
Going to do a WWE banner.
We were 5 days into the new year, and we already have 2 match of the year contenders from Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty weekend. Yota Tsuji versus David Finlay, and for the global title, and Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. Let's put it this way: at the end of, if you don't make Tanahashi cry, you're not doing your job. And Tanahashi cried.
He literally did cry.
Oh no, Will Ospreay beat Seth Rollins' disciple. You know what that means. Almost with a stomp as well. He almost beat him with a stomp. Steven, that's not Diet Coke.
No, Gatorade Zero. Zero sugar.
How do you feel about that commentator getting suspended from New Japan? I think there is a work in progress here.
Yeah, because Tony Schiavone said something on his Twitter, or X now.
And the fact that Tony Schiavone wasn't on air tonight.
Yeah.
He's on assignment.
He's on his way to Japan to whoop his butt.
Is he maybe going to take into Japan and be like, and I don't know. Could it? Who knows? I mean, they've got a show this weekend. They've got Battle in the Valley this weekend. And in fact, it's Saturday night. They've got Battle in the Valley. So,
yeah.
I don't think.
I think. So far, by the way.
Sorry?
I said Battle of the Valley looked like a good card so far.
Yeah. I will say this. New Japan, unlike AEW and unlike WWE, are very good at playing the fans.
Mm-hmm.
They are very good at playing the fans and making it look legit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They know how to do it. So, and they also know how to build a fucking star. Like, put Gabe Kidd in with Kenny Omega and bam, look at it. You've got a guy who's going to build himself further over the next 2 years. Right? I don't think he's going to become a world champion in the next year. I think in the next 2 years, he's going to be up there.
Yeah. If New Japan re-signs Gabe Kidd, sky's the limit for him.
I think if they do it right, what they do is they re-sign him. They have Kenny Omega be the one to take the belt from Zack Sabre Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a rematch of Gabe Kidd versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP World Heavyweight title at Wrestle Kingdom, and you have Gabe Kidd walk out as champion.
Yeah.
And that's the way you build it. That's simple.
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes. You have him lose a couple of matches where the title is on the line, so he's been bested, and he's just not there yet. But then he gets to the level, and Kenny's got the belt, and he wants to solidify his legacy, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. It's going to be Will Ospreay versus Action Andretti because Tony takes a whole year for a storyline to progress. No comment. So we did the private party segment. Then Bobby Lashley has his match with Mark Briscoe. We get Mark Briscoe getting the shit kicked out of him after the match, but Private Party make the save.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of expecting Private Party to smack Briscoe in the head here with the chair, which I thought it could have been good. It would have given a shock factor, but once again, that would have been wasted on that fucking crowd because that crowd is shit.
The crowd don't deserve it.
No. We went then to our next match, which was the Casino Gauntlet match for the number one contendership at Maximum Carnage, which is next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever wins this match will go on and face John Moxley. That's the guy. Who's holding
in his hometown, by the way, next week in Cincinnati.
Yep. In Cincinnati, Ohio, they will go on to face John Moxley, and we've got Jay White as number 1, Hangman as number 2, number 3 was Wheeler, number 4 was Ricochet, who used part of Swerve's intro. we then had Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia, Powerhouse Hobbs, Roderick Strong, Lance Archer, Kyle O'Reilly, Jeff Jarrett. And we then obviously get Powerhouse Hobbs winning the match, which for me was an absolute shock.
Same here. I didn't think Hobbs would win, to be honest with you.
No, I was like, what
expected either, but
what's sad is the private party should have the charisma, but they're wasting it right now. Agreed.
I was really hoping Jay White would win it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I was expecting it to either be Jay White or Hangman that would win it, but I think it was a smart move doing Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Because it gives you someone different.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good shock, and it gives that bit of refresher. Now, is he going to win the belt next week? Probably not.
No. Be a lot of shenanigans.
I think what you do is you have him win the belt in a dodgy way, or you have him win the belt, but then he gets the absolute shit kicked out of him by Moxley and his crew, or they just like demand a rematch for the next week after.
So yeah, I do agree with Courtney there. That's the way you build Hobbs. It's Hobbs' time to shine. So I do agree.
Note this for a pay-per-view. Yep. That would be the way you build Hobbs. It's Hobbs' time to shine. Agreed. Like, you put him over, you give him a sneaky win, but then you strip him of the title, or you get Moxley to go backstage, grab Tony, and force him to get the belt back, sort of thing. Just run fucking absolute roughshod over the show until he gets his belt back.
Mm-hmm.
Like destroying things, destroying the set, destroying cameras, all that sort of shit. Make it look like there's shit going on. Make it entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We then went to Hook versus Christian video package because they're fighting next week.
Yep.
We then get Jeff Jarrett in the ring, and MJF comes out. MJF says that he agrees that Jeff Jarrett is the only person that could stand up to Moxley, essentially, and that he'll help Jeff Jarrett get the world title as long as he's first in line. Jarrett turns around and basically says, no deal. I thought it would have been a very good move.
Yeah.
Because maybe you have it turn out that Jeff Jarrett loses a couple of matches and then he goes, maybe I need to take that deal.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to take that deal. Tony shits himself fearing for his life, and then John Moxley quits and goes to the rival promotion. I don't think TNA could handle it. I don't think TNA could handle Moxley.
No.
We then get Cope coming out, who's extremely intense in this promo, talking about how he broke his fucking neck, talking about how he was a world champion and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know where you heard that.
Man, that's man. I never heard WWE.
Yeah. ABJ says he's going to head out and talk to us in the Discord. No worries, ABJ. We'll talk to you more in there.
Yeah.
Speak to you. I'll just ask Penta. Yeah, but Penta's already seen the fallout of what happens with WWE. You get bumped from one show for a guy who's not going to be around at WrestleMania time, a guy who rides a motorbike and was in a pointless segment, and Hulk Hogan. Oh, fuck, the real Josh Elliott's shown up. Hey, long time no see, my dude.
Yep.
How you doing, dude? But yes, Penta has been bumped for the fact of Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, and The Rock.
Well, it really depends on how they're. Really depends how.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Hulk Hogan went with Penta. Penta El Zero, or if he was going by Pentagon Dark, it would have been like, that doesn't work for me, brother. Purely because he's Penta Dark. Penta will not be as strong as people think it will in WWE.
Well, it depends on how they're booking him, though.
They'll book him like shit.
Yeah.
They will book him like shit.
Just have machine guns.
They didn't do it for Sting, and I don't think they'll give it to Jarrett. Sting didn't want the world title. Sting knew where he was and did not want the world title. Conan will say otherwise. You're not wrong. Conan, Eric Bischoff all talk shit on Tony Khan and think that they're the kings of professional wrestling when they're no comment. Anyway, don't get me wrong. Conan's been a booker, a wrestler, a talent agent. Eric Bischoff's been a president of a company. But Eric Bischoff was also a fucking money mark.
Yep.
And he played Ted Turner to get his toys in Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan.
Brother.
So, shut the fuck up, Eric. You're a money mark too. They're going to put him with the LWO, then he'll be 20-2, and then he's going to go back to TNA and not win a singles title ever again. Look, I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
No, I'll tell you the truth. I'd rather have Penta as a heel, like a monster heel.
Yeah. Bischoff burned WCW. He did it at the end.
Yeah.
At the end, they burned through.
Bischoff and Vince Russo.
Look, Bischoff was great for a while.
Yeah.
But then he got burned. Then he got burnt out. And he knew he was never going to be able to compete with the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Steelbook's Marty Scurll. I'm not going into detail in regards to that because I like Marty. I don't agree with the situation that happened, but I like Marty in the ring.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into that. I think that ultimately we'll see how Penta is booked over in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Could work out, could turn out to be shit. Or even worse, they make LFI with Andrade and Penta and still don't do shit and fall into irrelevancy. No, they won't acknowledge LFI.
I'll bet you they were thinking they're going to get Ray Phoenix too in the package, but apparently that didn't work out that way.
No, because of obviously the injury time. But they won't touch LFI because LFI is a Mexico-Japan thing. La Facción Ingobernables. It's a Mexican-Japan thing. It was brought to Japan by Naito, but it was after Naito had done an excursion over to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So, why not just call them the Mexican lawnmowers?
They already got that faction back in the 90s.
Late 2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Mexicools or whatever the hell they call them.
That's the name. Yeah, that was the name.
Yeah. Getting back to our show.
Yes.
Cope comes out, runs a massive
On that note,
Cope comes out, runs an intense promo. Moxley comes out with Yuta and Claudio, FTR attack Yuta and Claudio. Mox attacks, or Cope attacks Mox, and then Cope gets attacked by both Marina Shafir and everybody's favorite, who for some reason cannot afford a suit or a pair of, or anything else other than his work gear. Pac.
Back.
He's back, and he's still in his work gear. He came straight from the airport and in his work gear, of course. And yep, the visa is working. His visa is working again. So we then go to a Mariah May promo with Harley Cameron. Let's wait till next week when it's not working again.
I think we're going to get Beth Cope. I hate that name. Cope. Back.
Yep. So we get a Mariah May and Harley Cameron promo, and two Australian, we've got multiple Australians in this company. One is doing fantastically on the men's division, and that's Kyle Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
But the two knocking it out of the park are Harley Cameron and Tony fucking Storm.
Yep.
Harley Cameron with her demented persona, and Tony Storm with her amnesia. Just amazing. These are amazing.
Sometimes I think Harley Cameron needs shock treatment better than that.
But that's the thing. It's amazing because that's the way a lot of Australians act. The way you are seeing her is exactly the way a lot of Australians would act. So it's essentially real life. And I love it. I love it. We then go to a 3-woman match to determine the number 1 position in the Casino Gauntlet match for the number 1 contendership for the AEW Women's World Championship at Grand Slam, Australia.
Say that 10 times fast. No joking.
Get fucked. Tony Storm. Tony Storm, Chris Statlander versus and Willow Nightingale all compete in this match. Not the person I thought who would get the number 1 position, which was I thought it was going to be Tony Storm, but they gave it to Statlander. Clearly, Tony Storm is winning the Gauntlet match.
Yeah, clearly.
If she's not, you're doing something wrong. Or you're bringing in Harley Cameron and making it even better.
There you go. Yeah.
Because you've got... And it's just, it's going to be interesting. Okay, you guys need to change the name of Hungry Jack's to its true name of Burger King. Cannot do so. Copyright infringement, my friend. Long story short, there was, in my hometown where we used to live, there was a shop already called Burger King at the time when Hungry Jack's, or when America's Burger King tried to infiltrate the country. They did not copyright the name of Burger King was copyrighted to this burger franchise or this burger store. So therefore, because of that, they couldn't use it in Australia. And so it became Hungry Jack's. Eventually, it's separated from the Burger King franchise. Hungry Jack's Australia became its own separate entity. But then they also kind of went back into it as well. So, so you're stuck eating Samurai Jack. No, the Whopper and stuff still exist over here. It's just, And look, the Burger King and Hungry Jack's look exactly the same. Yeah, that's why we call it Hungry Jack's. Yeah. So Mariah May promo Tony Storm. We then go to Tony Storm backstage, who's upset that she didn't win, and she's basically saying she's not going to be in the match next week, which clearly is not going to be the case.
Yeah.
She'll be in it. We then get they call it Wallabies and Koala Bites. Wrong. We get the long-awaited return, finally, of Kenny Omega with his new theme. I like the theme, but I don't like it at the same time.
I like his old one better.
Yeah. Battle Cry is far better. It is a far better theme, and it will suit the. It would have suited his return much more. The new theme is okay, but I prefer it if you'd had him use Battle Cry instead.
Yeah.
Once again, the crowd is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And he's pouring his heart out, and the crowd's dead. The crowd's quiet. You're fucking stupid, crowd. I hate you, Clarkville crowd. Go home.
Yeah.
A bunch of fucking meerkats could have done better.
Yeah.
Don Callis interrupts fantastically. Kenny doesn't waste any time and actually chases after Don Callis and gets a hold of him, only to be attacked by a Cage and Archer. They get back in the ring. Kenny's trying to fend them off, and then Fletcher comes out and attacks. And, of course, who makes the save?
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay. And it was great. Great interaction for Will Ospreay to make the save. Loved it. Don Callis should have been like, I demand your attention. Would have been amazing. But if you were watching the same show I was, the crowd would have been fucking piss poor anyway.
Well, they're normally short on time, though, because they're trying to hurry up a little bit.
Yeah, but normally you can't hear Don Callis's music.
No.
This time I heard the music. I wonder if this is a way to bring back Coda. Oh, it will be. It will be. Don't you worry.
I say he'll be back next week in Cincinnati because Omega is wrestling Brian Cage.
Yep. Yep.
I believe we'll see Kota Ibushi next week.
Yep. Yep. Leave the Young Bucks away from this.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Leave the Young Bucks away from this. Leave them away for a while. Keep the Young Bucks doing Japan and stuff like that. Let them do that. Let Kenny be hit by himself.
Yep.
There you go. Leave the Young Bucks. Who needs them? New Japan right now, because they are the World Tag Team Champions in New Japan.
Two times.
Yep.
Still.
Well, no.
The big slow.
Okay, so we end the show with Ospreay and Kenny standing face to face. As I said, fantastic show.
Yeah.
Or good show. Piss poor crowd.
Yes.
And if Tony Khan sees this, please do not go back to Clarksville.
Yep. I'll be very upset if I see Clarksville again on my TV screen.
You know what? Fly to my backyard. There is a school next door. Fly to my backyard. Come here to Australia. Come to my backyard. There's a school next door. They're louder than what that crowd was.
Or I was going to say, come to South Haven again. We got a great crowd over there. For people over there.
Yeah. In fact, could have stayed in the UK for that crowd. Yeah, 100%. He should have. He probably should have. Look, that's the end of that show. Thoughts, feelings.
Tell you the truth, that crowd made it feel like an indie show.
I'm going to say this. I will never go back and watch that episode.
Nope, I'm not either.
Purely because of that crowd.
Yep.
I get it, Alex. I get it. You're fucking disappointed. Completely understandable. You should add but you should add your own crowd noises. We should actually. We should start having our own crowd cheering us on.
Heck, we all could be louder than the crowd in Clarksville.
That is true. That is true.
But overall, though, I'll give that crowd pretty much destroyed the show. I would give it like a 2.5 out of 5.
Yep. Look, if I wasn't dealing with, if I had a hot crowd, I would have given this a 3 to 3.5.
Yeah.
I can only give it a 2.6 to 2.7.
Yeah.
Show was good, but that crowd was bad. I'm definitely louder. I'll be like Sam Punk with megaphone. Look, I'll tell you right now, I've had louder shits in the toilet. I've taken the loudest shit in the toilet.
Well, going into
it's the crowd was terrible. Please,
it was.
Tony Khan, I'm talking to you, Tony Khan, and whoever books AEW. Please do not go back to Clarksville. Do not go back. That crowd was horrible.
Yep, it was.
That's it from this episode. We will be not here this week because Stephen is otherwise occupied.
Yeah.
And I have a few other things I've got to take care of. We will be back next week, probably with a post-Dynamite show again, and we will have another 5-year, but we were going to be doing Double or Nothing, the first ever Double or Nothing, because the original All In does not actually count as an AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah. And another thing, Cincinnati, y'all better be louder than Clarksville.
Yeah. Anybody in Cincinnati or anybody that you know in Cincinnati, if you do not be loud, you do not interact with the show, I'm coming for you. I will get my ass to America. I will find some sugar daddy who can pay for me to get over there, and I will get over there and I will beat the living snot out of the crowd. Don't push me. I am Australian. I think the crowd would have went wild. No, they probably would have embraced Hulk Hogan. I think they'd automatically win. I'm a Texan and we have All In here. Hey, there you go. If I can get over for All In, I get the chance to meet Alex.
I wish I can go though, but I'm gonna tell you right off the bat though, it's gonna be extreme heat over there.
It's not looking likely for me, so
yeah.
But still gonna try, but I highly doubt it. So other than that, I've been Raz. That's been Steven. It's pretty fucking fresh here. It's quite fucking hot here today anyway. Anyway, I've been Raz. He's been Steven. And
bye, guys.